Hejsan and welcome to Swedish black metal. This is Bhleg with the new album Fäghring. Don't know how it's probably pronounced, but this one is indeed from Sweden and the style is very nature-oriented black metal. Those who have been following the channel for a while know that I previously got a couple of the band's previous releases. That is the MCD some 3 years ago and the latest album prior to this one, which, if my memory serves me well, was from 2021, maybe 2020. We'll soon take a look at that. So this is a two-man band that has been doing its kind of a nature-related black metal in very Swedish ways for quite a few years now, and they've been doing it good. Now, when I was spinning this album and listening to the tunes and getting to the vibe with these very lengthy songs and all, one band came to my mind first, and that is Ulva. Then I take a look at what the similar artists tab here in Metal says, and it's saying Oliver, which again makes no sense. I mean, great minds think alike and all that stuff. Now, the previous release I was talking about were Eril from 2019, the EP, and Ödhin from 2021, and both of them are good. And I could say Fäghring basically goes with the same quality and roughly same style. Now, the music is kind of a melodic and it's very nature related. So not only Oliver comes to my mind when I was listening to it, actually there's a little bit Burzum here and there, especially when one particular riff on song number 4, the Befruktad Jord, which actually has these like 19% Burzum riff. It's like, I was just listening to Burzum discography recently, so I was like, okay, this is Burzum riff, could be a cover. Now it changes. So it's a very much Burzum DNA. Not only that, but that in particular is very Burzum-like. So I guess that must have been inspiring the band. Or maybe it's a pure coincidence, but I don't believe in coincidences like that. What else brings to my mind by this music, or brought to my mind with this music, is Arcanum, also from Sweden. Now, Arcanum is way more shamanistic and raw, especially when it comes to production. But there are similarities with the music, or more importantly, the atmosphere both bands are doing. Especially when Arcanum is very nature-like too, but kind of anti-cosmos and all that stuff, and bring this kind of a shamanistic, almost ritualistic stuff. Whereas Bhleg is definitely more like, let's travel to the woods, let's travel to those ancient fireplaces by our ancestors and do some worshipping. I don't know, these are just, what I get associated with in my brain. Now, as you can probably see, the songs are rather lengthy. There are quite a few songs which are more than 10 minutes each. And sometimes it's just too much. I mean, you really don't make too many catchy songs, the kind of a memorable ones when it's very lengthy. It's more about then leaning towards the atmosphere. And that's exactly what's happening with Bhleg as well. Now, in this case, it doesn't really matter to me that they are lengthy. But let's be honest, the kind of a more compact songs are the ones that, really work in our simple minds. That is, when we're talking about the kind of a classic metal songs, doesn't matter whether we are talking about 70s or 80s or 90s, the more simple form is usually working for the favor of memorability. Then again, maybe this kind of music is just ignoring that and, decidedly, more on the atmosphere, less on the kind of a rock and roll format, if you will. Now, the production is not as rural or raw as you might expect. Actually, it's pretty cool for this kind of a music. And same can be said about the vocals. They are there to just kind of invoke this real black metal spirit, even though this is not about darkness or Satan and things like that. So, where some people say, it's the church arson kind of a music, well, Bhleg seems to be more about, nature, forests and fields and probably lakes and all that stuff. And I think they're nailing it, really. But like I said, this kind of lacks the catchiness and memorability even among the genre. I don't need to drop you lines and lines of those classic albums, which then again just come to your mind when I would, hum to a melody or all that stuff. Anyway, that's not a big flaw on this album, if you can call it a flaw in the first place. This is in fact a good album, and I like how these guys are executing it. Now, in my opinion, this is not the best Bhleg release out so far, but definitely a good one. And I think you would definitely do yourself a favor if you're a black metal fan, you don't mind melodies or atmospheric parts, or even clean female vocals, which are present on this album as well, and listen to this one. You will find links provided in the description box, so click, listen, and I hope you like it. Now, I would be curious to hear your opinion about this kind of a music. If you like this one, there is no reason why not to go further in the past and check out the earlier releases by Bhleg as well. So, click, checks out some Bhleg, and I hope you like Fäghring. Take care, and see you soon with more reviews coming away.